Hi friends, and welcome to another fun video. In today's tutorial we will take a closer look at the yes-no parameter and controlling the visibility of an object. We will continue on our culvert from the last video, adding the edges as shown here in the picture of the culvert from Nobi as a yes-no parameter for it to be turned on and off as desired. We will create the edge as a non-parametric family and nest it into the culvert family. By nesting the family, it makes it easier to control the object as one, such as by aligning it in the right position and assigning a yes-no parameter. So let's start by opening a new family template. We choose the generic template. It is several ways to go here, like sweep with a 2D nested profile or a line template, but we will go for the generic. It is a safe option. This edge, as mentioned, will not be parametric, as the geometry remains constant, since the primary object in this video is to create a yes-no parameter that grants us the ability to activate or deactivate these edges as well. So let's navigate to the front view, create a ref plane in the center to mark the center of the geometry for us to later align it. We then use the extrusion tool to create the cross section of the edge shown earlier. We just draw it up using the line tool. And we mark it all and move it up a tiny bit upward to center it a little better. And we do hit OK. So the edge won't be parametric, but we do need two parameters. The length, so the edge follows the length of the culvert. We do make it type parameter, and we need a material, which will be the same material as the culvert. Since this is the material, it's important to select the correct data type. We apply it and we exit out. So in the 3D view, we mark our edge. We find material in the properties and connect the material parameters with our geometry. Then we move over to the plan view to create the reference planes for our length. Check the EQ sign to make the geometry equal around the center line. We then mark our annotation for the total length and assign it the correct parameter, which is in this case the length. We then proceed to align our geometry to our reference planes. Before saving and loading it into the culvert family, we clean it up a bit by deleting the materials we won't use first. When that is done, we then purge it, deleting everything not in use. We then save it as edge right, since we later gonna create an edge left. We then load it into the culvert family as a nested family. We just place the edge out in the 3D view. Doesn't matter where, as long as it's possible to see it in the front view, where we will constrain it to the reference planes. We open up the front view, where, yes, our edge is visible. We then create a reference plane to constrain our edge vertically. So we then locate the reference place for the edge constraint in the horizontal direction and make it a bit more visible. We stretch it out at the top and the bottom. We just move our edge and then we start aligning it. It's important to always align geometry to the reference planes and not the edge of other geometry, since that might cause errors and break the family. We generate an annotation ensuring the number is aesthetically pleasing and lock the annotation, fixing the distance from the top reference planes. This ensures that the edge geometry distance remains constant when altering the height. We perform a quick flexibility test on the height to confirm the distance remains consistent. We proceed by connecting our parameters in the host family with the parameters in the nested family. We do find the nested family in the project browser. We type in type parameters. We make sure to connect the length of the edge to the length of the culvert parameter. So the edge length is the same as the culvert length when we change just one parameter. We do the same for our material, connecting it to the host family. And we go to the plan view and we align the edge. And as you can see, our edge is the same as our culvert length after we associated the edge length parameter to the culvert length parameter. We proceed by deleting some of the views created, making the family work environment a bit cleaner. Next, we come to the main focus in this video, the yes-no visibility parameter for our edge. We open up the family type dialog box and create a new parameter, the yes/no parameter. And it's very important that the data type is yes/no. We make it an instance, since this will be a unique value, where some of the culverts will contain an edge and some won't. We do place it in the visibility group. So these parameters serve as a determinant for whatever the edge is visible or not, but currently this parameter remains disconnected from our geometry. Our goal is to establish a connection between this parameter and our edge geometry. So in the 3D view, select the edge, go to the properties and find the built-in visibility parameter, and all the way to the right a tiny little button that says associate family parameter. We press it. In the list, our newly created yes/no parameter appears. We select and press OK. So let's flex the model. We enable the preview mode. This feature provides a visual representation of how the family will behave when it's incorporated into the main project. You will notice that you are in the preview mode when you see the family surrounded by yellow borders. We change the edge parameter, and as you can see, when we toggle it on and off, the edge visibility is changing. So the edge is visible when the edge parameter is checked and not visible when turned off. This works just perfect. We do exactly the same for our edge on the left side. When the left edge is created, we load it into the main project and flex the design once again to make sure it behaves as we want it to behave. It looks good when we turn this edge on and off, and it works just as we intended. A new feature in Revit is the family preview in the edit type dialog box. The type properties dialog now feature a preview window that shows an image of the family type. Here we can change the parameter value and the family in the window will change with it. Another smooth detail are when highlighting one of the parameters, the constraints for where the parameter affects the family will be shown as blue annotation lines in the preview window. So this concludes this video on yes/no visibility parameters. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.